that brand new opening, Sarah. That gave me chills. That was so cool. And we have a crazy, amazing, beautiful show tonight. We're just going to jump right in with Melissa. Is
I
your
have
internet
chills
working?
too. That was
Did you?
fun. Yeah, that was
Oh my
fun.
God. I loved how she surprised us with it
Mhm.
because I was not expecting that.
I was like, oh, that's me.
Well, the music was awesome too. I was like, so just so you guys know, tonight I had to. I was while the opening was playing, I was told to run and get one of my big crystals. Which we'll talk about another time. Because we're going to be dealing with some aliens, and we all love aliens and we love talking about them, but we have a guest who is incredibly brave to share her story. It's so important because so many people have very scary alien experiences and don't know where to turn. And without sounding like an ad for the Ghostbusters movie, it's like, but who are you going to call when these things happen, right? And here we are. You call
Yeah.
us. So, just so you guys know, Melissa's Wi-Fi has been in and out. Okay, so if she freezes, she's going to jump right back in. I might wait a second for her. She's my anchor when it comes to specifically this, because I know this is going to be a little dark.
I'm pretty
Let's
sure it's
jump
the
in.
aliens messing with my Wi-Fi, by the way.
Oh, very well could be. 100% very well could be. Our guest is Louise. And Luis has some great stuff to share. Hi, Luis.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you. I'm sorry, I just spoke over you, Melissa.
No, I just said hi.
Hello.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. Hello from Texas. Hi, Texas.
This is John, our Bigfoot guy again.
Bigfoot is
Hashtag
here.
Bigfoot. Yes.
We may need his help.
We might.
Okay, let's jump in. Luis, I have the way I work is I have them send photos and I have them send their questions. So ahead of time, I can make sure this is a good fit, something I think I can do, I'm supposed to do, all of that. Please tell us your first question regarding these alien experiences.
My first question was mainly like, why have I been experiencing them, and if they are real or just like a figment of my imagination.
So tell us about this one with the chair and the fingers.
So that one was actually the most recent one I had.
Okay.
So my wood floors in my bedroom creak. So I thought my little girl was coming in to wake me up in the morning. And so instead of waking up and physically waking up in my room, I woke up in a dark room with someone having a hand on my back, guiding me to, it's almost like a luminescent white chair where you would get your blood drawn at, with an entity behind it with its hand on the back of the chair. And it had like these 3 long prawned fingers just there. It kind of like appeared to be like a reptilian type of entity.
Tell me about the other experiences that stand out, because I want to see how these all connect, if they connect.
Before those ones, there are 2 separate ones. I had one, and it's in the same in a different surgical room, where it's all white, luminescent white, very clean, being strapped down to a surgical table, physically having my blood drawn. And the next morning when I woke up, I actually had the holes in my arm as if I had my blood taken. And then the same room at a different time, which was actually with my grandma, we were in the same room, both strapped down to the table, and she actually remembers it as well. And we were forced to take some large egg or pill, and we had to swallow it and be forced to take it, but not sure what it was.
So your grandma has the same experience that you had. So
yes. Like, even so, one that's not on what I sent you, when I was very, very, very little, me and my Nana had an experience together where we were in an alien ship together, and she was with them in another room where I started screaming and crying with other babies and other entities. And she came in because I was afraid of one. It looked like a prime mantis one. And she instantly ended up waking up and calling my mom to me, being screaming bloody murder scared after. And that was our very first encounter that happened together.
So just some context for our viewers. You've been having these experiences since you were a child.
Yes.
Okay.
And have all of the experiences been with your Nana?
No, not all of them.
Okay. This is your Nana in the picture you sent, right? There's one, is it your graduation?
Yes.
Is that your grandfather?
Yes.
Are they still together?
Yes.
Okay.
He's not biological, but that is my papa.
Okay. And it's fair to say these all happened in Sacramento while you lived in Sacramento?
Yes, I've only ever lived in Sacramento.
Okay. I say that because that's where I had my first alien experience, was also in Sacramento. That's why I wanted to ask. Okay, so give me a sec. My face is really hot. After they had you take those pills, did you notice anything different about your life or your body?
I did not, but I woke up with a super sore throat from it, and like my nose was sore because they had to like pinch my nose to blow in my mouth to make me take it because I wouldn't. But other than that, I was fine after.
Okay. Obviously, these are connected to your Nana first. And just to be clear, this is not your Nana's fault. But they are moving through her. They have been moving through her for lifetimes. Your Nana, if it's fair to say, has been experiencing this majority of her life, has just chosen to live with it, blocks out some, holds on to some, not by choice, but because she has to, has no choice. And so this is moving through her. And they are, without sounding like weird and creepy, well, there's no way to not sound like that, but it's as if they see you as like, and they see you for some reason as like an immediate offspring, as if you were her daughter, and are seeking to like infiltrate the two of you. Your Nana has chosen partners, whether she realizes it or not. This is her second partner, yeah? Third. There's something about the previous one and either the second or the first that instigated or revved this up, knowingly or unknowingly. Even though these were experiences Nana started having as a baby. I'm seeing her having experiences as a baby.
She said, yeah, she's present. She just doesn't want to be on camera.
Fair enough. I don't know that I want to for this either.
So your Nana can agree that she's been having these since she was these experiences.
Yeah, she also did say that she feels as if she does have like a son or a grandson that is an entity because she's experienced so much of it that she feels like she has a relation to somebody that is not here.
Okay. Melissa, anything else before I step in?
No, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I want to make sure. I love the way you're laying it all out. It's super helpful for me too. I'm about to step into something though, and I want to just kind of run with it. I want to ask Nana, does she understand she does not need to have these experiences? She does not need to be attached to these entities. I will come back to the sun in a moment.
I'm not afraid of them.
She said she's not afraid of them.
I'm feeling myself getting angry, okay? And the reason why I'm getting angry is twofold. One, I appreciate you aren't afraid of them. Two, they are inappropriately invading your life and your space. They are moving in on your granddaughter without permission, and they are doing things to your body and persons without permission. And I don't like this. And I'm not saying I don't like this from a human perspective, although as a human, I don't. This is coming from the energies that I'm speaking with that are of a different realm than the aliens you have been dealing with. I am being told this is not okay and this should not be happening, that you should have the choice to be invaded. I don't have another word right now. And so we're going to have a conversation right now with, let me go back to Louise. Louise, do you want this to stop?
I just want to like at least have warning before something happens or know why it's happening to me. Because they've even been able to tell my Nana when I do conceive children and what children I am having. I don't know if they take a part in it because I've struggled with having my 2 children.
Okay.
So you do have 2 children now?
Yes, I have 2.
Have they had any experiences?
Not to my knowledge.
Hang on really quick. I need you guys to understand something. And I want you to feel this to your core, and then it's up to you what you want to do with it. How would you feel if your neighbor broke into your home and forced you to do things? First, answer that question.
I would be upset.
How would you feel if a man grabbed you off the street and shoved a pill down your throat?
I'd be angry.
How would you feel if you were going to work one day and someone pulled you over and forced you to give blood?
I'd not be happy. I'd be upset.
So why is this okay? Why is this okay with you? Why are you allowing and even asking questions? I'm not yelling at you. This is not me. This is coming through me. Why are you even asking why they're doing this? Why aren't you saying to me, get them the fuck out of my house?
Yeah, how would I get them to stop?
You have to want them to stop. And I will work on the rest. Hang on. And I want Nana. Nana has a different relationship. Obviously, she has free will. She has whatever choices she wants, and we can work on her in a minute. But with you, Luis, it is important that you understand that no one, human or alien, is allowed to touch you or invade your space without permission. Hang on. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to battle basically for you. And I'm moving in on them to tell them that they are no longer allowed there. They are no longer allowed near you, by you, or around you, or your children.
I think there are not many stories like this or stories that people want to share. And so I think we don't realize that we may have control over some of the things that are happening to us. Just as if you had a spirit in your house, you would probably stand up and say, hey, it's not okay for you to be here. I want you to leave. So I think what Marion is saying is that you have that ability to also say it to these entities that are visiting you.
You do have that ability. Obviously, you're correct, Melissa, but she's in way too deep at this point. And there are situations where these alien groups do have, until we as humans find that energetic power, they will have power over us. Understanding that energetic strength, the energetic power is different from just utilizing our voice as a human. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And this is what we're dealing with right now.
So is there a reason they did those things?
They came in through Nana. Again, it's not Nana's fault. That goes back farther. Hold on. I'm going to find out. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, not to sound flippant, but this is kind of a story as old as time, right? These aliens come in and they start poking around and trying to figure out who we are, what we are. See what happens if this happens. What if you do this? What if you do that? It's purely power and curiosity.
Is it like where they're lab rats?
Yeah, it's power and curiosity, and yeah, it's that. Hang on, I'm trying to focus in on this pill really quick to see what this pill is. Iodine. So there's a way that when you take something, they can track and watch. Hold on, they're not liking that I'm giving away that information. One sec. I have to call and help.
That is a very good observation, John. And I agree 100%.
What did John say?
Sorry, John just said that the hardest part about alien communication and physical interaction is that it's not normal to us, it's unknown, and learning to understand the reason why it's happening takes time. I think a lot of people are just scared to talk about it.
Absolutely. Hold on, I'm coming out for a sec to say this to that. I want you, Louise, to normalize these energies, these beings, and the experience is no different than when I said, how would you feel if your neighbor came in? How would you feel if your neighbor just walked in? How would you feel if you were pulled over, taken out of your car, and someone did something with you? I want you to put these aliens in that same group so that they are no longer unique. So there's this sense of allowing it. There's this sense of, well, why or what or how. Just like if a woman is raped, it's not about why was she raped. It was, this should not be happening. What do we do? It is not your fault. How do we stand up? And how do we create the space so that this doesn't enter? This is what I want to talk about with you. This is going to be important. Luis, there's a part of you that is very, very broken emotionally. There was a lot of hurt and a lot of damage as a child. There was a lot of neglect, not from your Nana. And there was a lot of abuse. And within that, it became normal. And so when experiences like these happen, because when I hear these alien experiences, to me, I don't go to what, why, what's going on. I simply see it as if a human did it to me. And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
Yeah, I woke up pretty just like scared and upset as to like why me and why did it happen, because I wasn't sure what was happening.
So
you become terrified because you don't know like what's going to happen next. When's it going to happen again?
Right. So there's a couple things that have to happen. There has to be this, at least this deeper understanding of the trauma you've experienced in this body. And the reason why the trauma you've experienced in this body aligns with the experiences you are having is because you aren't seeing them as different. You're seeing it as a continued way to traumatize yourself, to stay in that loop from what happened to you as a child, specifically young. I'm even seeing some infant trauma. And so your body is like in your nervous system is just like this. It's always on high alert, always on high alert. And in many ways, it's simply a vibration that is sent out to sometimes alien groups that pick up on it. She's open, she's weak, she's open, she's weak, she's open, she's traumatized. They don't necessarily see those words. They don't look and see what I just expressed. They just see an energy force that is open. Okay? And so what I want to be able to do Can anyone else hear that? Okay. Okay, we'll wait. We're just hanging out. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Let's see where we land. Not surprising. There we go. Melissa, you're with me? I can't hear you. Luis, you're with me?
Yes.
Yes, you're probably muted. I saw Melissa laugh. Okay, let me go back. So when we go back to understanding how they aren't picking all this apart. They're just seeing an opening, right? And they're seeing a vibration that is open to this experience. The other thing is, because this is deeply rooted from experiences coming from Nana, it's making you even larger prey, basically. Okay, so
Would my
let's
blood have anything to do with it? Like, I know you probably aren't necessarily sure, but people have had like the rumors of RH negative people being connected to that.
Do you
These
have
kind
that?
of experiences. Yes, I'm RH negative.
I was going to ask that actually. So
Yeah.
She also has an extra vertebrae in her back.
interesting.
I'm
So I
going
have
to
like
go
low iron, high copper, extra vertebrae, stuff like that.
So I think this is a two-parter, but but here's the thing. Let me share something with you. Let me give you an example of everything you just shared with me. My father's Middle Eastern, okay, and the women in that family wear chadors and are still very, not his immediate family to be clear, but farther out, are still repressed. Does that have anything to do with me?
No.
The fact that you may have an extra, the fact that you have this type of blood does not mean shit. It doesn't mean that you are now, well, that's it. This is my life now. No. So I come from a family of repression, and I come from a family of men dominating. And so do I have to deal with that all the time when it comes to my father? Yeah, I do. But it does not make me who I am. And I dictate when those conversations happen and what that looks like. And the same goes for you. I don't care if you have a fucking tail growing out of your ass. You dictate what, when, and how with them. They don't dictate it. And that's what we need to get to with you. And the reason why I'm being so aggressive about it is because they only respond to that. Now, here's the trick, and you and I will work offline on this. You can't go into an aggressive stance because now you're just meeting them where they're at. We have to take you into a different space, a more neutral yet defensive space. And finding that takes practice. So that's how I work with darker energies and dark energies like this alien group. This will not be the last I hear from them, I promise you. But I have a neutral stance that also aligns with a pushback, but I myself am not emotionally triggered by them. So I can handle that. If I became emotionally triggered, all bets are off. For you, this is going to be a little bit more challenge, which is why I work with them and I work with you until the separation is made abundantly clear. Now, you may decide that you want to explore this. You want to have these visits. You want to have these experiences. That's on you, and there's nothing wrong with that. I can't help with that because you will encourage that and bring it on, and you will have whatever experiences you want to have. But if this is something you are finished with, I encourage you, for the sake of your karmic debts that have been paid and your future karmic debts, that you take a stand and understand we almost dumb this down and completely remove the fact that it's an alien and say, do we let a human do this to us? It's no different. Now, energetically, they're working more energetically than anything else. And so this is where we have to balance out your energy. And this is where we have to learn. Right now, I have them at bay, but they aren't going to stay there forever. And I can't spend the rest of my life doing this so they don't come near you, right? Tell me about how all this makes you feel, and tell me about how all this makes Nana feel. And I want you two both to understand you do not have to agree with me, and you don't have to do anything I say. It's totally okay. I'm just downloading the information and passing it on.
Okay, let me ask her really quick.
Miriam, while she's doing that, I think my question is, do you think her blood type and such is what drew them to her, or do you think that has nothing to do with it?
Yeah, they all came in through Nana, and they see her as a direct link to Nana.
Mm-hmm.
And so they come through her. And so Nana, I don't know if she has the same blood type or what. For me personally, I don't feel the link.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the link's there. I'm not denying the link. It
Right.
just isn't a road I'm shown yet to go down.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My Nana's okay with what she experiences because she's never been afraid. It's more been, pretty much her being able to be involved or communicate, whereas mine's like no consent, just automatic happens, not knowing when it's going to happen, what's going to happen. And then, no, we do not have the same blood type. I'm the only one in my family with my blood type.
So your Nana gets consent. She basically gets consent from them before, and they'll let her know when they're coming, or is that what you're saying?
You can't.
Sorry,
Well, she can, I guess they communicate with her. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if it's necessary consent, but the
Right.
things that happen to her are different.
Okay. But you're not getting that same thing.
No.
Okay.
Okay, good questions. Melissa, how does this, Louise, how, when you come back, tell us how this all makes you feel.
Makes me upset. Every time I wake up from it, it's just like basically very, very scared because I don't know what's happening or why. And
I'm sorry to
basically, if it's gonna happen, be able to be like, this is gonna happen. Is that okay? Yes or no type of thing. But that's not in my case. I wake up just to be like scared shitless.
Let me clarify. Everything that I said, how does that make you feel?
It makes sense about having to basically put up a guard and protect myself from the additional trauma.
So remember, what I actually said was we have to address what happened to us as a child because it's making us, it's like ignoring if you have a broken leg and pretending like everything's fine, but you're dragging your one leg and you're like, what? I'm fine. And you're like, your leg is broken. It's hanging off your body, right? And with only having one leg, it weakens you, right? And so for you, we need to go all the way back. And I'm not saying you have to relive stuff. And if you've already gone to therapy, then let's work it out in meditation and let's work it out in yoga and let's work it out in other ways. If you feel like you need to go back into therapy or be journaling about it, because when we journal, we just get it on paper and then we let go, okay? But there's got to be a way for us to go back and close that gap so that we aren't feeling vulnerable and weak because of the abuse we endured. Okay? We start there.
Okay.
We can put up a shield all we want, but the truth is, it's just covering up. It's like putting a band-aid on a broken leg. Your leg is still broken. Your energy is still weak because of the trauma, and you haven't been honored. You haven't been validated. You haven't been heard. Okay? And so then these other entities come in and just keep repeating that pattern. You aren't being heard. You aren't being validated. You aren't being anything. You're just being violated, 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 violated. And so we need to heal the past first. I know we started you on a meditation, and me and you will work offline closer on that. But I really want your attention to go to your past. And here's what they're saying is going to happen. You're going to work on your past, and I'm going to basically do this with them while you're doing that. And then as you start to heal from that, I can start to let go. And then we can bring this together and go, okay, now you have to have these experiences in order to teach them they can no longer enter your space. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's like a pass off. Now, I say this honestly, and me and you will text after. It's really important that you understand. I can only do this if you genuinely want to shift your life. If you decide this is exhausting and too much work, because it will be exhausting, then I'm not going to be able to do this any longer. And you will go back to having your own life experiences, which is fine. And you'll learn at your own pace, which is fine. But we can work together because you can't be left alone right now. And I don't know. And what I don't want is you diving into your past and me not here to do my best to manage them. Because when we go back into our past, it does open us up more, right? It opens us up more, and there's a moment of vulnerability. And I don't want that to happen. So as I hold back, it kind of gives you the freedom to have your experience. Okay. And then when I'm alerted, and you and I'll work closely, regularly, to find that balance. Now that I'm out of that state, this is about stepping into your power. This is about stepping into your power in a way that no one has shown you or taught you, because this is an energetic thing, right? Your Nana will play a role because she has a connection with them that we may find we can build Nana's connection so she does have control and say. And basically, she may be the one to ultimately say, leave her alone, we're done. Now, if she wants to still have this interaction that's working for her and that isn't, bad or scary or whatever, that's beautiful. And part 2 is diving into the son that I agree she does have. So we can go there at another time, but those are 2 very separate experiences because Nana is okay. What's fascinating to me is I feel Nana's literal blood physical connection to this alien line. I feel that, which is why I feel like when I connect with Nana and them, I'm not having the same conversation as I did with you. I'm not having this, what's going on and why is this happening, right? There's this almost like she has this whole second life going on and it's okay. She, like, if she said to me, I have this blood type, I have this extra, thing in my spine, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I get that. Like, I feel her, she is family with them. And so the boundary needs to be set for you, and Nana will be able to help with that because she has a connection that is very different than what you have. Again, it's important to stress, not Nana's fault, nothing to do with her, even though I'm connecting dots. It's your own separate experience. Just like it's not my father's fault he was born into a Middle Eastern family. It's not my father's fault he was born under, this heaviness that I now am a part of. That's not his fault. It is what it is. I have to deal with it on my own. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna. I know we DM through Insta, but I'm going to connect with you and give you my cell, or if you don't already have it, so that we can text regularly. Okay.
Okay.
There's
Thank
more
you.
questions and more stuff. This is by no means done, but it's done for now, and then we'll continue with steps.
How are you feeling about it, Louise?
I'm feeling good. I appreciate all the feedback.
Better than when you started?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, Ben, we all know, like, if someone asks you to go back and deal with your childhood, that's nothing about that is fun, exhilarating, or great. It's like, fuck, not this again, right?
Yeah.
But you and I will chat and we can see where you've already been with it, what you've already done, and if we can just energetically move it out of the way, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Louise.
Thanks
I'll
for being
text you
brave.
tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
There's so much there, but I
Yeah.
know that we're on a timeline. There's just so much that I'll be doing offline with her. I get, just for me personally, like, when that information comes through and they're just like, you know, my people are super at ease, but they have this heat running through me that's just like, this is not okay. This is not, for her, this is not okay. This is about, building and strengthening. And that group, man, they are not messing around.
And I think it's important to mention that, this is kind of new territory for a lot of people because it's not talked about. It's something that's kind of frowned upon and people don't want to talk about it. But if you look at the statistics, there are, was it 4? I think it's like the last Gallup survey mentioned that 4 in 10 people have seen a UFO. And, there are like 65% of Americans believe in extraterrestrial life. And,
Wow.
we have how many billions of galaxies are out there. In our Milky Way alone, there was like 4,000 planets that can house human life. So it's not like this should be strange or unusual for us to talk about. The possibility of life out there is very high. We can't be the only ones. So
well said.
I wish that we would talk about it more. I'm really proud of Louise and her bravery for coming on the show.
Oh gosh, yeah, me too. And how fascinating how it's running through the family, and how Nana's having such a different experience with it. That's valid and true. We can have, I mean, how many families do you know that have siblings? And one sibling explains their childhood, and you're like, I wasn't in that house, but you were, right? And it's karma. It's what we're here to learn. It's what we're here to experience and grow from and change, and all this stuff. But in light of that, what was it that you discovered over the weekend with this?
I was just fascinated by the new images that NASA released on their web. What is it called? It's their web.
Don't look at me when it comes to names.
The Webb Space Telescope. I mean, look at this. This is amazing. These images, I mean, never in our lifetime have we, it looks like a painting. It doesn't look real, but never in our lifetime have we been able to see something this clear And it just goes to show how big the universe is. These images were just released on the 12th. Look at those galaxies. And I mean, all these little stars, they look like little stars. Those are galaxies. And we have billions of planets in our own galaxy. So how many billion, look at all those galaxies. How many billions of galaxies and planets are there out there? It's so fascinating to see the big picture and realize that these stories about extraterrestrial beings and the UFOs are not really that. They're not. It's not science fiction. It can't be science fiction. It's there, and we should look at it more.
I agree with you.
If you haven't had a chance to see those images and read the article, it's just on NASA's website. So go for it. It's really cool.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
Let's move on to another haunting, even though I'm still a little riled up from the last ones. Look who's here.
Hi. Nice to see you all again. Thank you for having me back.
Did you really think we were going to say hi and not mention your penis necklace?
Yes, my necklace is raccoon penises.
And how do we obtain one of those?
How do we obtain one of those? You can look online, or you can find a naturally sourced one by roaming the woods like a feral animal.
Is that what you did?
I was given this one.
That's great.
Listen, fortunately, because I made the comment about being vegan, and then Carly told me it's actually a really great story about your friend, if you want to share it.
Yeah. So one of my close friends she's Wheat and Chaff on. Hey, Erin, Wheat and Chaff on Instagram. She lives in England and she practices divination through bones. So her connections to animals is incredible. She practices skull scrying with them, and she finds all of her bones by literally wandering that was my dog, literally wandering the English countryside until she finds a deceased animal through nature, and she brings it home and communicates with the animals like that. And through her, I learned about the connection that we can have through animals, through their bones. It's weird, but it's beautiful.
It's pretty cool.
I'm always looking for a really cool skull, and I have a collection, and because I wander everywhere, and I'm like, I am so weird.
If you find
who isn't looking for a really cool skull?
Who
I mean,
isn't?
we're all just kind of wandering through life looking for a really cool skull.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated by animal bones. They fascinate me. I have a collection on my shelf.
I don't.
I do too.
I appreciate it. I don't appreciate a good skull, but I love you, Melissa, and I feel you, I hear you, and I will lean a little bit into that. But you will never find a really cool skull in my house.
Oh man, you're missing out.
Yes.
I trust you on that. Now listen, a penis necklace. Well, to be clear, it's a raccoon penis.
Raccoon penis. I love raccoons. They're adorable.
They are adorable. A raccoon itself is adorable. Listen, this conversation could go so many different ways if I don't clarify it's a raccoon penis necklace. So
yes, especially with me in the conversation. You never know where
you never know where it's going to go.
I love it.
Yes.
All right. Are we free? I'm kind of just been and enjoying this conversation about raccoon penises because I'm still trying to fend off the green aliens.
Yes.
I mean, that's a sentence you never thought you'd say. I'm trying to lean into the raccoon penis to fend off the green aliens. Yeah.
Always lean into the raccoon penis. It's a little bit of chaos in your life, It'll chase the aliens right away.
No, but you know what? This was the first time I got my alien tattoo just this year in January. And when I noticed when I kept going like this to her, I was using my alien eyes, and I was like, oh my God, I was waiting for these things to come in handy. And they just did.
I have an alien tattoo. Oh,
you'd let me. Erin's 4-year-old is loving this. I'm sorry. Did we just teach her about the birds and the bees?
No, I know them in real life. Hey,
I know them in real life. Okay, what's your alien tattoo?
It's just an alien head, but it's the yin yang. It's shaped in the yin yang.
Oh,
It's really
I want to
cool.
see. Can I not
Well,
see? Is it like in a
it's
weird
in a
space?
spot that I probably shouldn't show you, but
All right. So text me a picture. I want to see though. It sounds really
I will.
cool.
It's really cool. I just got it like a month ago. So
Really?
yeah,
Awesome.
I love it.
Carly, you're next.
Me, I'm always down for a good tattoo. I
Me
love
too.
it.
Me
Therapy.
Me too.
All right. Let's do this. Haunted
Right.
house. God, let it be green aliens.
Hi.
Where are we? Hey, Christine.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for
everyone.
waiting for us. So tell us,
Thank you.
what's going on in this house of yours?
Well, it's definitely a lot more chill than your last your last
Thank God.
visitor. So I've lived here for about 9 years, and it's always been kind of haunted, but it's always been kind of haunted. It feels like there's something here that is just kind of keeping an eye on things. Like it's never felt belligerent or aggressive at all. And it's, if anything, it's actually felt comforting to me, at least. I had an ex who lived here, and he said, "I don't like being here alone. It feels creepy." And like out of every descriptor I could possibly have for this place, I would never use the word creepy. Like I've always felt really comfortable here.
You can talk louder if you need.
In the last like 3
Just talk louder.
Oh, okay, sorry. In the last like 3 or 4 months, it seems like the energy's changed a little bit. Like it feels like it used to be more feminine, and now there's something more masculine here, kind of. And
Okay.
there was one night where like I kind of see something at the end of the hallway sometimes. Like it's one of those like glimpse out of the corner of your eye kind of thing. It almost looks like there's someone there. And then one night I had this dream, I think it was a dream, where I woke up and there was a man walking in my room. And then I woke up again and there was nothing there. My dog was next to me sound asleep, and it was nothing. And I didn't feel like I was in danger. It was more of like the shock of it happening. So I was just kind of curious, like if you're picking up if anything changed, or I'd love to get your impressions about what might be going on.
Did you say this has just been in the past couple of months? That it's
it changed in the last couple of months. Like it's kind of always been here. Like
Right.
there are
It's been
sometimes
different.
footsteps. Yeah, like footsteps on the front stairs, or like creaks in the hallway, or you just kind of feel like you're not alone. But it's never felt like. It's always felt like kind of like comfortably not alone. You know, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Does it
Like
feel any
compared-
different to you now? Like compared to a few months ago where it felt pretty comfortable? Do you feel any different when you feel the presence or like when you have the dreams now?
It's not necessarily uncomfortable. It's very different. Like
Okay.
it's just like something shifted, something changed a little bit. And I don't
Okay.
I don't know what it could have been.
Okay. So there's a kind of a Nana vibe running through this whole show. There was definitely a more grandma type-esque feel originally, who embodied this home from many, I almost want to say centuries. I understand the home wasn't here centuries ago, so there was something about this land, this space that it's on, that acquired, for lack of better words, this female energy. And I don't feel her there any longer. I feel that it's kind of interesting. It's almost like she moves through people's like, I don't want to say, how do I say this? It's like she moves through people's homes, almost like looking for those that need nudges, not guidance, but like a little push, And so it's like when you said, did she, push the X out? It's almost like when someone needs to vacate a space, it's like you call her, and no one's literally doing that. She knows how to, and so she's not like a spirit that is haunting or just out of body. She's more of this energy that moves through to keep, I want to say, to keep time and space moving along, even though time and space doesn't need help moving along. But there's humans that get stuck in the continuum and don't keep moving along. And she does this. And when her job is done, she goes. And so you're picking up exactly this energy that moves through and then leaves and goes on to the next space and the next location. And now you have this other energy who I'm going to look to Carly and say, who's this little dude?
Right. So this is really interesting because I was pulling cards while you were talking. And the first card that came out is the spider. I'm going to lift them up so you guys can see since you, there we go. There we go. Backwards camera. And the spider is a comfortable place to rest in your case. But right after the spider, we have the hand of glory, which is generally in this deck a card of not necessarily deception, but of things not quite being what they seem. So I think that Miriam is 100% correct because I was feeling the same motherly, nurturing energy. Also, kind of like that she was like, no, this guy out of here, not a fan of him. Because you also have the Hagstone, which is a folk protection type of magic. And then the mandrake root, let's just pull that one on close there so you can see. That means the root of the issue. It can also be fertility magic, but in your case, it's strategic moves. So what I think is happening is that during one of these moments when your Nana energy, for lack of a better word, moved on through, something else took advantage of that absence and moved in. Because one of the other meanings of the spider is like weaving a trap. So like you can look at the spider card in two different ways. In one way, that is how the spider nourishes itself. But on the other hand, it's also where it ensnares its prey. So I think that what Miriam was saying is pretty accurate. And I think that whatever you have going on now might have just scooched on in there when Nana was out giving somebody else a gentle nudge.
So, Melissa, do you want to add anything before I jump in? You're on mute.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Some of the research that I did on your house and the land around it brings up a possibility of who the male spirit might be, but I don't know if you want me to go into that yet.
Let me see if I can feel him really quick. I felt the need to, the reason why I kind of jumped off of him to pass off is because I'm going to clear him. And I'm not really wanting to engage too much with him because we don't want him. There's no need for him to be there. So Melissa, go ahead. Yeah.
I know that the Hollywood Forever Cemetery is close by. And the thing that kept popping into my head about that cemetery is the an owner that has like 51% of the stakes in this cemetery when it was first built, whose name was Jules Roth. And there was a lot of type of scandals that kind of happened while he was owning that place. And he just did some nefarious things that the caretakers didn't agree with, the people who bought plots didn't agree with, but he was a millionaire and I get the sense that he just kind of did whatever, he did what he wanted, and he's there because he can be, I guess, if that makes sense. But he was just not a very upstanding person.
Yeah.
He passed away in 1998, I believe.
So Carly, before I remove him, is there anything you wanted to add?
I actually got a yes card to what Melissa was saying. So the cards that I pulled while she was talking, I have the pillar, which in this case, was he a pillar of the community? maybe not, but he
He
was.
thought he was.
He
Yeah.
thought he was, and he also was a man of status. So literally being lifted above the rest of the population. And the card that is a yes card is the remedy. Sorry, this is backwards for me. A remedy, and then it also has we have the casket plate and the embalming fluid, which
That is
to
crazy.
me would all be confirmations of like, yes, I am there. I'd be interested in knowing why, but I guess that doesn't. If Miriam
Well,
oh, do you know why?
the crematory was in such disrepair that they had to close it up, and they were encouraging people who bought plots not to cremate. They wanted them buried.
Okay, that
And this
makes a lot
was
more
for
sense.
quite a while because they didn't have the money to put into making it usable again.
Okay, yeah. Those go really well.
Interesting.
What was this guy's name, Melissa?
His name was Jules Roth, and he
Jules.
was a 51% stakeholder in the cemetery.
Okay. So Christine,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was to say I don't know if that's who we're talking about, but that's my impression.
Sorry, say his name again.
Jules Roth.
Okay. So Christine, have a seat where either have a seat on the floor if you can, if you're comfortable.
Sure.
In the middle of the room.
Oh, middle of
Sorry.
Okay.
As close, it doesn't have to be exact. This is just information I'm being given. It's not me making you do weird stuff. Close your eyes, sit tall. What's happening right? Always encourage that. What's happening is I want you to take ownership of your space because this is a home that is open to and close by to energies that are traveling, if you will. It's going to be important that we remove this one, but we close it up without blocking, guarding, protecting. We allow it to be an open, free space for life to happen. But you get to manage who comes and who goes, okay? So 3 deep breaths, deep inhale through the nose, blow it out through the mouth. At your own pace. Once you finish that third breath, keeping the eyes closed, sit tall. I'm calling in your guides. I want you to call in your guides also. If you don't know what that means or feels like, simply say it to yourself. Imagination is the gateway to intuition, so we want to allow ourselves, give ourselves permission to take ownership of our space and our guides. As we call your guides in, I feel actually a lot of masculine energy as your supporters, guides. I feel like there's like brothers and sisters and a lot of support from lifetimes and other lifetimes, if not this lifetime. This space, although it may always have beings pass through, and if you, I'm going to ask this, you are okay with them being there. We need to make sure that everyone else in your family is okay, as well as your animals. This particular energy, this male energy, unless you tell me otherwise, I am going to remove. Is that okay with you, or do you want to keep him there for whatever reasons?
No, because it seems more. It seems more confused. So,
Yeah.
Like if it's his time to move on, then yes, please.
So remember that when these energies come into your space, if they continue, it is on you to have the experience you just had. You could feel that they were, confused. So what you'll want to do moving forward is trust what you feel, have the conversation with them and ask them to leave, because when you are having continual experiences in your own home, this is a mirror for you. This isn't for you to pass that power off and tell someone else to come in and remove them. This is about you and your power. And this is about you accessing that power, harnessing it, and clearing your space in your home. But we learn this by doing exactly this, asking someone else to first come in to assist, to walk you through, and then moving forward, if it continues, you do it on your own. And I say that solely because I don't feel that you will be having a history of dark or bad or malevolent energies coming through. You will have energies just like you described that are a little lost, confused, but ultimately aren't harmful. But I want to go back to that original question, which is, don't forget, you have other people that live there. You also have animals that live there. You also have plants and trees that live there. And so it isn't just a matter of, is it okay with you? But is it okay with everybody? And is everyone genuinely okay with these beings in your home? And so that is a question you want to always ask yourself. You want to always make sure. If you see your animals freaking out at the energy, that's not okay to put your animal in that type of distress. If your children or husband or partner is in distress, or it's just like, I don't know, I don't want to talk about it, then it's important that these beings leave. You may have beings come through that, like you felt with Nana, was there for a purpose or there for a reason, and it was actually very comforting, and that's beautiful. Again, you check in with everybody else, even the animals that are there. So this gentleman in particular is frustrated, aggravated, same word, and confused. More so, he's agitated. And so what I want to be able to do when a spirit is agitated, we have to first come to some understanding of calm and peace in order for them to see their guides and who's there and what's going on, so we can move them along. So I'm going to ask you, Christine, to gently embrace this being. I'm going to ask Melissa and Kayla to also do, Carly, sorry, who's Kayla, actually? Carly to do the same. But Carly, continue with whatever work you're doing, of course. You don't need to stop. You can do the same, both at the same time, I know. We want to embrace him so that he feels love, trust, and can actually now know that his guides have been there the whole time. He just needs to feel them. We have to remove the aggravation so he can feel the light. So as we embrace him with calm, with love, we're eliminating the aggravation so he can move towards what's always been there. Use your breath if you need to do this. Christine, how are you feeling right now?
A little sad.
You're feeling sad? What else?
Confusion.
Okay. That's not yours. So continue. I want you to move yourself out of the sadness and confusion. So I'm going to ask your guides to embrace you, because now what's happening is you took on his emotions, which is beautiful, but now you need to let them go or else we've got you stuck. So I'm going to bring your guides in to cover you. So I want you to inhale, and as you inhale your guides, exhale, release the confusion and sadness, okay? Inhale, feel the guides wrapped around you. Exhale, release the fear, confusion. Couple deep breaths of this. He's lifting up. Anything anyone want to add as he's lifting up?
I think your dog is concerned about the emotions that you're feeling as well, and he's there to support you.
Beautiful. Carly, you got anything?
I was pulling cards and they all seem to agree with you. Interestingly, you said that you were feeling grief, and the tear catcher card is right here, which is a card of grief. But along with it was the teapot, which is a healing remedy. So literally what you are doing right now is helping to bring him healing. And by doing so, you will have a safer and more comfortable home, which is represented by the nest card. So keep doing exactly what you're doing, and follow what Miriam is saying, because you will feel better in the end.
John is saying her dog notices. I agree with that.
How are you feeling, Christine?
Feeling good, actually.
I love that. She's like, I think I'm good.
Well, it seems like your dog has calmed down quite a bit as well.
All right. Carly, thank you for that. That was amazing. Christine, how are you? I keep focusing on you, Christine, because this is what I always teach and talk about. Paranormal experiences are a part of our karma. They are a part of why we're here. They are a part of our purpose. They are a part of who we are. This experience here is about energizing you to understand who you are as a spiritual being first, that's now in a human body to do work, to be of service to others. And this trajectory is putting you on that. This experience, this home, this first Nana that we felt, moving into this gentleman, all of this is part of putting you on your path of who you are and why you are. You did this work. It was, I actually saw, which I haven't seen before, his emotion transfer into you, which lightened him up so he could see what was always there, lifted him up, left you here, rooted, grounded, a little heavy. We covered you, took care of you, boom. Now, you may continue to feel some residual emotion, and that is okay, but this is where your daily meditation practice is imperative, because our practice is what holds us in body, but connects us to our higher consciousness. And then it teaches us how to listen, how to be guided. It teaches us, what do I need to do next, right? Now, does that mean you won't ask for help? No, but you will learn that your help is all right here. And you actually go outside for validation. I'm not crazy, right? I feel this, right? Do you have any questions about that?
No, it all kind of makes sense, and I'm also it's very validating here because I'm at a kind of a crossroads in my life.
You guys can leave that room if you want, because the internet's bad there.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear anything you said, and I want to be able to hear you.
Oh, sorry. I just said I'm kind of at a little bit of a crossroads in my life, and so it's really validating to hear that this is all part of the process, and I'm kind of on the right path. So,
do you think
Yes.
this might be why the activity changed slightly in the last few months? What do you think, Miriam?
It's all part of her path. Absolutely. Everything's aligned so that you are to understand who you are and why you are. Okay? And to understand who you are and why you are, the only place you can go is connect. Okay? And the only way you can connect is through a daily meditation practice. Otherwise, you're being carried all over the place by energies and energies and energies and spirits. But when you have a daily practice, you're grounded and rooted, and you're like, that's not mine. That's not mine. This is me, right? You had a powerful exchange where you took on his stuff. Trust me, that means you are doing that with everybody in your life. And what happens is you're taking everyone's shit on, and you have no clue who you are, because you are covered in everyone else's emotional stuff, right? Now, you're a mother, so we have this separation that happens. Inevitably, as a mother, you will take on. I'm not saying remove that. I'm not saying you can remove that. But we can ground ourselves so that we see, we feel, we experience our child, but we also understand spirit's path and that karma and their choice. And there's like this little wall of understanding that you can see through, feel through, experience through. I don't like saying protection because it blocks you from your life experiences. It's this wavy, soft energy that goes, oh, that's right. That's why they're here, to learn that painful thing. Oh, that's right. I'm not to interfere. That's why I'm here. Dude, it's not easy. I'm not saying you're going to get it right. It may take you till you're a Nana 3 times over to understand it. Okay. I'm just saying, know that. And as you can, we apply that. But again, the maternal instinct, we don't want to remove and we don't want to block. It's knowing that you take all this stuff on from your children, but you're also doing it with your husband and your coworkers and your neighbors and the people in the grocery store. And so really deciphering who's who and who's what. Is this maternal? Is this his? Is this hers? Is this mine? You got to ground yourself and you got to get into that practice. Now, I always talk about these 5 aspects to consciousness. It's therapy and journaling when you need it, yoga, daily meditation, diet, plant-based diet, and exercise. Plant-based diet is because meat and dairy hold and tighten this energy, and then the energy then just sits there and doesn't move. Caffeine, sugars, alcohol causes energy to do this instead of run smooth. We do all of this in baby steps. And with that daily meditation practice, you know who you are. And eventually you can say, oh, that's not me, that's that. Or whatever that is. It takes time and practice, but this is why this has all happened for you. And this understanding of your purpose, you have to, and I know this is a problem with a lot of mothers, you have a purpose that goes above and beyond your children. You are here for a reason. Your children are a part of it, but you are a separate entity that was brought here to do work. And you know that. You knew that, you know that.
Well, and it's interesting that you keep bringing up maternal stuff because I'm not a mother myself, but I'm actually transitioning out of a job where I'm helping younger people kind of get their feet under them. I work at a substance use disorder recovery center. And so it's a lot of late teens, early 20s, and I'm going to be leaving that job. And it's sad. Like I'm having a lot of sadness about leaving and not being able to help people there.
Well, I'm mother to plenty of people that I didn't give birth to, so.
Me too.
So important. I appreciate you saying that. And this now is important for you to understand how easily that maternal thing turns into a codependent thing, right?
Yeah.
When I talked earlier about that kind of imaginary see-through energetic wall, right? And that karma, that's what's happening right now in your life. Don't create a codependent environment. If it's time for you to leave, that's what's best for everybody. Even if for everybody else it plays out in your perception as dark or painful. If you make choices that come from your gut and from spirit, it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. It is the best for all. When we make choices from a selfish, fearful, doubtful place, it's not the best for all. But when we make choices from our gut, and it feels like you made this choice from your gut, you knew it was time. It is only the right way. There is no wrong way with that choice. But I keep stressing, it doesn't mean that everything plays out beautiful and perfectly. No. Right? You may hear stories, right? That you think, oh my God, I never should have left. No. Yes. Those things had to happen without you there.
makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot
You're
of
at a
sense.
really, really great place in your life.
Mhm.
And the world is like laid itself out for you. But those 5 steps of consciousness is how you get to stepping onto that path and seeing it and feeling it and knowing it, right? You believe it, you know it, you be it. All right. Any questions about that? Anything else?
No, I do want to say though that like it's interesting that you brought up the Nana energy because the roommate that I initially moved in here with, we referred to that presence as grandma. And this building is family owned, and it was bought by my landlady's grandmother. So I don't know if it was her, but like it felt very much like a grandmother figure. So that
that's cool.
that tracks. Yeah.
Busy Bee wants to know if Nana is happy that he's gone.
Nana isn't there any longer. Nana is a beautiful example of how she helps, lets go, helps, let go, help, let go. She doesn't hang out and are like, is she doing it right? Is that right? Is that right? I mean, no spirit does that, but if we have guides, there may be more of a direct. She wasn't a guide. She was, like I said, it was like she was moving the continuum of space and time. And she was like, that guy's stopping space and time. Not that that's possible, right? And so that's her job. So she just moves them and moves on, moves them and moves on. To me, it's fascinating. I mean, I always say never be surprised by spirit, but always be amazed. It's always amazing because the reads are always so incredible. Like I've never said any of that stuff before. Time and continue. I don't even know what that shit means. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Christine.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
I'll see you on my lives. Carly, Melissa, that was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, fun.
That was a lot.
Raccoon penis at it again.
This is for the win.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you guys for being there and doing this work with me. I love it. We'll be back next Sunday. Oh my God, next Sunday. Holy crap. Satan's Circle is next Sunday. Talk about doing the work.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Satan's Circle.
I'm
That's
nervous.
all we're going to say.
I shouldn't be, but I'm excited.
You should be excited. It's
I should
okay.
be excited. This is going to be great. I'm really, really looking forward to this.
Me too.
Yeah, you guys will get more info on that this week. Those that are watching, Satan's Circle next Sunday. Don't miss it. Thank you.
Bye.